introduce first then? Good morning. My name is Steve Ewell. I'm Executive Director of the CTA Foundation. It's the charitable foundation affiliated with the Consumer Technology Association. I'm very pleased to be joined here today by Whittaker, a Mountaineer who comes from a family of Mountaineers, but also is a user of hearing aid products, particularly ones by ReSound, who is an exhibitor here at CES. We have been given a video that is going to play some highlights from his experiences.
My name is Whittaker. I live in Ashford, Washington. Born and raised just outside Mountaineer National Park. My father is a pretty famous mountain climber. I had a lot of activity outside, and so whether it was skiing or climbing. First time I climbed Mount Rainier, I was 12 years old, so I was definitely born into the mountaineering. My hearing loss, as far as me noticing it, was while working with clients in the mountains. You know, I teach climbing school, and there's a group of 9 or so, and we're outside, and I was finding myself repeatedly asking for them to repeat their questions.
Lynn's hearing loss was a slow progression. I started to notice I'd ask him a question and there wouldn't be any response. There wouldn't even be much of a grunt of acknowledgement of asking a question.
She'd mention something and I'd be like, yeah, whatever. So I had some friends, we were at the fair, and of course we got all the booths and rides and everything, and here's this hearing aid booth, and they dragged me in going, yeah, let's all get our hearing tests done. And I go in, came out, and they're like, yeah, you've got some definite hearing issues here. Looking at someone and they're asking a question and I'm looking at them and I'm not hearing it, that's a pretty good indication that there's an issue that needs to be addressed. I was online and I saw that this company, ReSound, had been working with Apple with the iPhone, and you can control everything. I'd buy into that, and so that was it. Let's check this out. They fitted me with them. I came home, walked in the door, and walking on the hardwood floors, still wet tennis shoes, squeaking on the floors, and I asked Sarah, I said, hey, have these shoes always squeak like this on the floor? She's like, oh yeah. So it was the rediscovering of a lost world. With these hearing aids in, it's phenomenal. I mean, I can hear the pebble move. I have people telling me, dude, you're bionic now. You got bionic hearing. When something needs to be done, and it's inevitable, once I do it, I go full. My friends first would be like, oh, you've got hearing aids. And I'd say, yeah, but check this out. These aren't just hearing aids. And I'd show them and then the smart app, and they're like, well, I want some. As far as hearing aids go, I don't think, in fact, I know there isn't anything else out there that tops what ReSound does, and their continuing technology. It definitely has boosted the quality of life beyond just a hearing aid.
Great. Well, Wynn, welcome to CES 2016. That's an amazing story. I'd love to hear someone who's as active as you are. I mean, you've climbed Mount Rainier 180 times, I believe, or more. How was it kind of accepting? You mentioned it was a lot of clients having to repeat things to you. How was it accepting that you needed hearing assistance? What was the process that you went through to learn about needing hearing assistance?
Well, the process for me was an ongoing thing for over about 10 years. I was noticing loss of hearing in the high ends. Am a musician and whatnot as a side job, and so the hearing was a slow decline that was manageable until as I say, in teaching climbing school and teaching clients, you know, out in the mountains, we're up there in an environment that is completely foreign to them, and they need somebody that is rock solid and can convey convey things as far as safety and whatnot. They need to feel safe. And I was getting to the point to where I'm asking, you know, there's all sorts of ways to hide that problem when it comes to questions and being unable to understand what's being said. You know, excuse me, say again, sorry. And it was getting pretty bad. And so I knew it was coming. The thing that really drove me to it, to finally do it, was when ReSound had come out with an app via the phone that I could tweak myself, okay? Because an audiologist doesn't go out into the mountains with me in that environment and adjust my hearing aids. They set a fine base of the, you know, how the hearing aids should be fitted to my particular hearing loss. Then I'm able to tweak them in an environment on the fly. And that's what finally, because when that came out, I read the article. The next day I was in, had the hearing aids walking out the door.
That's great. That's great. Well, and that goes into, you know, what features really make a difference for you in a hearing aid use. And I can imagine that customization really is a key component for you. You know, what other things were you looking at when you were looking at types of technology for assisting with hearing loss?
Well, the capability of the ReSound product is, you know, for one, for volume, I mean, that's a given, up and down. The bass and treble is key as far as me for being a musician. You've got other programs and parameters within that application. One for me, which is key, is on the climb of Mount Rainier, we get up at midnight. Beautiful weather, it's dark, stars are out, moonlight. That's what you want to have when you're leaving anyway. And nice and calm weather. As we get higher up to 12,000 feet, here comes the wind. Well, there's an app that suppresses that wind blowing over a microphone. And I'm able to do it on my watch while I'm walking without having to stop, take my pack off, and adjust it that way. So, I mean, that's awesome. Again, on the fly without having to stop. So
that's great, and particularly being out in a fairly remote location, how is battery life and things along those lines for its usage? Because you're not in a place where you can just plug it into the wall.
Well, exactly, and the batteries are something that I definitely have to bring along, but they're small, they don't weigh anything, extra weight. But these batteries, if I put a fresh pair in, I'm going for, you know, 5 days or 6 days on that battery. Climb Mount Rainier is a 4-day program is what we offer. Yeah.
Are there any other types of technologies, or are there types of technologies that you're looking for to help with hearing loss? Obviously, the ReSound products are working great for you, but as someone who has hearing loss, you know, we have an enormous show here with all different types of products. What are the types of things that you're getting excited about that might be assistive, or things that are missing from the market that you're looking for?
You know, that's a good question. Speaking with the ReSound team over the last couple of days, I'm hearing, you know, in the works development of certain things that are, you know, coming out in the future, which are really, really interesting and really cool. It's sounding like, you know, as far as I'm concerned, of you know, what more can they do? I'm not quite sure, because it's such an awesome system anyway. You know, so I'll leave it up to the engineers and the folks that are in the works putting it together, and I'll wait with eagerness to try it out.
All right. Well, if people want to learn more about ReSound, where can they go to go online?
Yeah, if you, just to resound.com, and there's all the information there as far as their whole system and what they have to offer.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us. If people want to learn more about the CTA Foundation, they can go to ctafoundation.tech. And thank you.
Thank you, Steve.